Guys, I want to tell you my why for why I chose Scentsy and why I continue to do Scentsy after all these years. And I'm thinking a lot about this, and sometimes I have more of a traditional story to share with Scentsy because, yes, my why was to do something while I stay home with my kids and and different things like that, and to support my family. But it goes deeper than that, and I think it's so important to know people's stories and just to know who they are, regardless if you're in direct sales or not. I think it's so important to share our stories with each other. One day, me and George did a exercise at home that I had learned in a book study at church, and I had just heard, it's so important to know your spouse's story, especially. And it was something that was so neat to go through together. Even though we know things, we don't know everything. And we don't know the deep parts, because a lot of times it's too hard for people to talk about it. So I'm going to share with you briefly for the next 4 minutes my why. So I'm going to go back far before I even knew about Scentsy. I had my daughter at a very young age of 17. And I'm not bragging on this, but I chose to be responsible for her. Lived with my mom for 1 year, got out at 18. As soon as I graduated high school with a very good GPA after not doing well. And then I went to college and was doing great, going to school for I was in pre-nursing stages, getting my, all the credentials out of the way. And I meet my husband. My daughter's 2 years old, and I didn't want a relationship anymore, but I met him, got serious, and flunked out of college. I was trying to work full-time. I had my daughter. I was in school and a boyfriend. It was very difficult for me. So when that happened, it was a huge hit to my pride. And then as we had our second daughter, I had to quit my job because at that time we could not afford daycare regardless of where I worked, because I wasn't going to get a job anywhere great at that time. So we decided for me to be a stay-at-home mom, and it was so rough. I tried everything from delivering the advertisers in 90-degree heat, not knowing where we're going, from being a home health aide into very awful settings, home settings. I did direct sales before Scentsy. I have done, trying to think, I worked a year at a job at Kohl's, and did that, but it was very, very, very part-time, and it was only about $20 a week that I was making. It was more of a fun thing to get out of the house. And I did gas stations. I was a manager at a gas station. I have been through more jobs and entrepreneurial type things, in my 10 years with my husband than I have in anything. And it's because we were constantly looking for something to work and something to make me happy and us happy, and it just wasn't happening. Sorry, I'm a crier. Should have a disclaimer. Couldn't even think. So anyways, that was really tough for me, and I was somebody that thought, I'm going to be an independent woman. I'm going to take care of my daughter. I'm going to do all this. And then I meet my husband, and it was a blessing. But at the same time, it was like, oh my gosh, I have to depend on you. And then he was mad because we were poor. And, we were going to the food pantry once a week, and we had no extras. We had no cell phone, no cable, no internet, no computer. We had nothing but each other. And being 19 years old, 20 years old, it was so tough to understand. And I look now, with being with Scentsy for over 3.5 years now, I looked at myself and said, no way am I going to do this again and fail. I can't do it. I'm just I can't do something and fail. I'm sick and tired of failing. And I don't know what happened, but I had that little basket party and did well. And I thought, it boosted my confidence somewhat, and I thought, I'm going to try this. I'm going to do this. I think I can do this. And I really went into it for the first couple years saying, I'm just okay. I'm not great. I'm never going to do really well with this. I love what I do, but I'm never going to do great. And I sit here and I am just filled with joy, the friendships I've made. I wanted to work outside of the home to have friendships, and we all know that friendships at work aren't always great friendships. A lot of it's very cattiness, and I tell you, with Scentsy, I've never had that. I've never had that. I have just loved the people I've met. And people that aren't on my team, I have some amazing friends from my boot camp I went to in Idaho in April that I am so excited to spend time with at our reunion in next month. And I have this excitement and this joy, and I do make some extra money for my family while doing it. I don't have to find babysitters on a regular basis. Now I do when I go have parties and stuff like that, but that's more of like, yes, it's mom time. I'm getting out for a little bit. I'm going to have a party. I'm going to go to this reunion. I'm going to go have fun. And I don't feel like I'm working. And I love the relationships that I have gotten to build with these new customers and hostesses and people on my team. The people, like, I thought I was going to be this lonely mom the rest of my life as a stay-at-home mom. I never thought I was going to have anything. I didn't think I was going to have a nice home, anything. And I know those are just material things. But for somebody that was at their lowest point, getting kicked out of houses because they couldn't afford to live there, and things like that, I really thank God for this opportunity that even when it was smaller amounts of money, or if I have a larger check, every bit of it helps us do something. We just paid for our vacation, most of it, with my Scentsy checks to the Outer Banks, something I would have never done before. And, you know, it's something that I feel strongly. I do it to feel, I have something worth giving, and I can follow through with something. I have done this for 3.5 years. This is longer than any job I have held, ever. I mean, that's amazing to me that I'm like, holy cow. I look back and I go, wow, I've had my ups and my downs. I've had to work hard to get where I'm at, but it has been so rewarding, and I've never been upset a moment about it. So, I'm thankful for anybody who took the time to listen to me. I know I ramble sometimes, and I would love to share my story in more depth if anybody would ever have questions about it. I could share different sides of my story. I have very different sides, but right now, that's kind of where my gratitude is at. My gratitude is towards the fact that I can stay home, be with my family. We don't struggle like we used to. We might not have it all. We might not be rich, but God has just given me a sense of gratitude with where I'm at, and trying to just continue to work towards my goals, and wherever God may take me is where I'll go. So thanks, guys, for listening so much. And if you have any questions on anything, please let me know. Have a great day.